Like, all told, these would be the final thoughts on the patch and what I think that this means for Mortal Kombat going forward. This is a very telling patch, and it makes me hopeful for the direction of the game, actually. So, let me shut down this music. Shut up, Mortal Kombat, right? One thing that they were very adamant when they said that coffee is delicious. They tweeted yesterday, hey, patch coming tomorrow. Small balance change, no download necessary. That's what led me to believe that they patched it the way they did, right? The changes. Like, you didn't have to download or update anything. It just automatically synced up with your servers. That means that they did not want to release a patch for these changes. That is the important takeaway here. All right. So the changes, like I already covered generally each character, but this is telling that they did not release a patch. They knew that these changes, they wanted these changes out ASAP, right? People were shitting on Shiva. They had to do something about it. They wanted these changes out there, but they didn't want to do a patch. And I don't think it's because the patch would have been expensive. Yes, they would have had to pay a lot to put out a patch, but I think the reason is they didn't want to put out a patch because they know if they put out a patch with these changes in it, A, they'd have to pay money, and B, people would data mine the shit out of it. Instantly, right? If you go to Twitter right now, you go to the Mortal Kombat Twitter with the patch notes, the first like 5 comments are people adding the Thinny, who is a notable data miner within the Mortal Kombat community. Hey, patch is out. Thinny, what's in it? There's no patch to download, right? It's all just changing of amounts of numbers, right? There's nothing downloaded, so there's no data being exchanged between NetherRealm and you for him to data mine. That means they don't want you to see if they are working on something. I think that this means that Kombat Pack 3 is coming. It's absolutely coming. It's like on the way. It's almost here. They didn't want us to find it. They released this update without a patch, so that way we had nothing to data mine. That's why I believe, and especially because the changes are rather simple and insignificant, that they have something bigger planned and they don't want us to know. Because if this was going to be like the last hurrah for Mortal Kombat 11, right? If this was going to be like the MKX Jesus patch that people wanted back then, the final patch that fixes everything, then they would have done it as a final patch, right? They would have released a patch and said, yo, this is it, man. Hey, Marvel versus DC is coming. See the trailer at E3 or whatever. They would have released a patch. They didn't release a patch. They released a hotfix that required no downloads. But this game still wants you to connect to their servers, right? That's how that works. You see when you go to the main screen, it says connecting to servers. So in order to get this update, you have to go and connect to their servers, which means that they're going to keep those servers online for quite a while. That's going to cost money. They've got to get revenue, right? They've got to get cash inflow to cover those servers to host these kind of updates. So they've got to have something that is going to increase their bottom line coming forward in order to keep support for this game going. That's why I have no doubt that a Kombat Pack 3 is coming. No doubt at all. It's going to happen. If it wasn't going to happen, they would have released a patch. They didn't. They want to hide it. They want to hide it. And it's exactly like I said before. Everybody was like, are they going to release Kombat Pack 2 or 3 or whatever with the movie? And I said, nah. Why the fuck would they do that? That would be stupid, right? That would be stupid because then the hype of the Kombat Pack and the movie are going to overlap and they're going to fight for like mental space, right? They're going to fight over who you're going to be thinking about more, right? Whereas I said it before the movie came out. I said they're going to release the movie. They're going to wait about a week to let the movie hype blow over. And if the movie's successful, they'll try to capitalize. If the movie is not successful, they will try to distance themselves from it and not have any announcements until the disappointment from the movie has subsided. But the movie came out. It was relatively successful, right? It did good numbers for HBO. They're already talking about sequels. Whether or not you liked Mortal Kombat, the movie reboot 2021, does not matter. It doesn't matter if it's good. It only matters if it rocks, right? So if you like the movie, awesome, there's going to be more. If you didn't like the movie, whatever, a lot of people did, and enough liked it to where they're going to do more. So, and then what happened, right? The movie is a success. A week later, a secret, easy fucking balance patch with no downloads necessary. No downloads because they don't want you data mining anything. So I think this tells me exactly like I called it like 2 weeks ago before the movie came out, because now we're what, a week removed from the movie, 2 weeks removed from the movie, about when I said they would start talking about Kombat Pack 3, right? I said wait a week or two after the movie is when we'll start getting stuff from them. I called that shit on stream. I called it. And now, a week after the movie, and the hype is still there, people like the movie, now they release this patch. Now they release this hotfix. I'm telling you, we'll probably get Kombat Pack 3 information here shortly. I think maybe within the next 2 weeks to a month. 2 weeks to a month would be my rough estimate. That's being very, very conservative. They could release a trailer fucking in 15 minutes, right? They could just be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you, Kombat Pack 3. Boom. It's out, right? And like they could do it at any time. But my conservative estimate is 2 weeks to a month. We'll probably hear something about a Kombat Pack 3 within a month, I think. Within a month. Probably within a week or two. But within a month, we'll hear something about a Kombat Pack 3. As to what that could potentially entail, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're going to get another character. I'm pretty sure we're getting like 2 or 3 characters. We'll probably get 3 characters at a minimum. They may do like a full-on, like the first Kombat Pack where it's 6 characters. Or they could do another Aftermath where it's 3 characters and some story and friendships or whatever. They could do that. But I think that it's like absolutely going to happen. What I would want, right? My personal wish list for a Kombat Pack 3 is... for the most part, I would want them to just kind of tone down the top tiers a little bit more. This is like wishful thinking kind of shit, right? Because I love Mortal Kombat 11, so I would just want more of that, right? So obviously more characters. I would want more stages. I would want them to kind of double down on what they said when the game came out. How they said that they could add new moves. I'd like to see them add new moves. Just add some more moves, right? We know that they went into the mocap studio at the beginning of the year to record some new motion capture. We don't know what it's for. It could be for another game. It could be for more Mortal Kombat. If it's for more Mortal Kombat, my big wish list is to have more moves, like on top of, more characters, more stages. I want more moves. I want another story mode expansion like Aftermath. I loved Aftermath. I thought that was fucking cool as fuck, right? Story's dumb as shit, but I had a lot of fun with it. I loved Aftermath. So I would want more story stuff and new moves, but for the most part, I want them to finally deliver on the promise of crossplay. If anything, if they add nothing else, right? Say there's just a patch and it's not Kombat Pack 3, right? There's no more DLC. They're done. The characters are finished. We're not doing any more stages of story. If they say, okay, this next patch is the last patch for Mortal Kombat 11 and that's it, and it's done, the only thing I want is for them to make crossplay universal and give us the Wi-Fi filter. The reason why crossplay and the Wi-Fi filter are not there is because they go hand in hand. If they add a Wi-Fi filter, queues are going to be excessively long to get matches because you're shrinking the pool of potential players by filtering out anyone on Wi-Fi. And as we all know, most of the motherfuckers that play this shit are on Wi-Fi. All of you guys are, fucking half of you assholes are on Wi-Fi. So that means if I filter out Wi-Fi, I'm not going to get a whole lot of matches. But I could get a whole lot of matches if we had crossplay, right? I can filter out all the Wi-Fi, but I'll play people on Xbox or Stadia or whatever. But the big hurdle for that is to create a unified account system that keeps all of your shit from console to console, right? A shared cross-platform account. Otherwise, what's like... how would they keep... What's the point of Combat League if they're not keeping track of your stats, right? That's the whole draw of the mode. So they'd have to come up with some sort of account system that is like a NetherRealm account that you would like link to, and then it would keep track of your Combat League stats through that, across all of your platforms. So that way people can play across platform and still level up in Combat League. I don't really care so much for that. I think that would be really cool. But if they made it to where we could play cross-play King of the Hills, I would be satisfied with that. Just give me King of the Hills that are cross-play, flip the switch, and if they gave us functioning crossplay as advertised, fully featured, fully functioning. There's no this mode is crossplay and this mode is not, but full legit crossplay and a Wi-Fi filter. That personally is like my big wish list for another patch. If they add that, I would be fine with them not adding anything else, because at least I would have infinite replayability with like whatever community is left in the game, right? Because people will abandon it once they say, oh yeah, no more DLC. Then all the people that love Ash Williams are like, well, I'm never getting Ash Williams, fuck Mortal Kombat, right? So there will be people that leave during the last patch, but those of us that stay and continue to play the game will at least have a larger player base with which to do so. I just think it would be kind of stupid to invest in the infrastructure to set up crossplay in that regard without monetizing it further. So if they do add crossplay the way I would wish, like perfect, complete crossplay, I'm pretty sure it would come with another Kombat Pack. Why not get some more money out of the fact that you just increased everyone's player base of potential opponents? They're going to be playing longer. Might as well try to get more money out of them. So I'm fairly certain Kombat Pack 3 is coming. I'm sure we're going to get more skins. I'm sure we're going to get everything. Like, honestly, my big prediction is for another Aftermath-sized expansion. I think that they're going to release one more Aftermath-sized expansion. And when I say Aftermath-sized, I mean all of the content from release until Aftermath. So I'm expecting a Kombat Pack 3 with a bunch of characters, and then another expansion with characters and a story, and that's going to cap it off like a trilogy, right? Because Aftermath ended kind of like Empire Strikes Back, right? It ended on a cliffhanger where the bad guys may or may not have kind of won. So I think they're going to release the Return of the Jedi, where Liu Kang finds the power within to overcome and win, and then that'll end the Mortal Kombat 11 story. That's what I think is coming. I think that, especially with the way the pandemic and the quarantine have messed up supply chains, people can't get PS5s. So, are they going to invest in a new PS4 game? Probably not. But is this a good time to release a new PS5 game? Probably not, right? Like, you don't want to spend millions of dollars on a new PS4 game that as soon as Sony and Microsoft can release more consoles, people aren't going to want that. They're going to want the PS5 and the Xbox Series X game, right? But do you want to put in and release that now when no one can get a console? You're going to release a game, and by the time everyone gets consoles, that game is old hat and people will want to play the new game. So I think whatever new game they have, they're sitting on it. It may or may not be done. They may or may not have been working on it, but they're sitting on it because it's a bad time to release a game. But it's a good time to release more content for a game people already own, right? If you look, it's the attach rate, right? How many people have bought Mortal Kombat 11? How many people are still playing Mortal Kombat 11? It would be cheaper. It would be a cheaper investment to just add more content that you could charge for in the old game that everyone already has than to release a new game at a time when it's very difficult to make money off of a new game. So all of these factors combined, right? The fact that they've been kind of sneaky with this patch, and the fact that, I told you guys how the marketing of the movie was going to play out, and on top of the fact that, honestly, economically, it would be in NetherRealm's best interest to release more DLC for Mortal Kombat 11 because it would be cheaper and they'd get a more consistent, guaranteed return on the investment of paying the developers to make that content off of this old game than it is to release a new game. I think with the new game, if it's a Marvel game or whatever, they'll announce it at E3 and we'll get it maybe next year or the year later, depending. But if you like Mortal Kombat 11, I think the future is bright. I think that there's going to be more shit. I think everybody needs to mellow out and quit being whiny bitches and just fucking play the game and have a good time, right? And we'll get more characters if we get more characters. But you shouldn't be playing a game just to get more characters. That's stupid. At that point, why don't you just buy Mortal Kombat trading cards? Because you're not doing anything with these. You just want to accumulate something and then have it, right? But you're not going to actually play it, right? How many people fucking play Molina? I feel like I'm one of the few people still fucking playing that character, right? We don't need new content, but I think it's coming. That's another thing. Chat reminded me. Fucking weenie, right? Thank you. If you guys look, another reason why I think Kombat Pack 3, actually that changes everything, right? I think Kombat Pack 3 is probably closer than we think. Because if you look, right, on the PlayStation Store, if you look on the PlayStation Store, Mortal Kombat is on sale. Look, dude, Kombat Pack 2 is $8 or $7.50. Ultimate is $49.99. $49.99, and this is half price, right? Isn't this shit $15 for Kombat Pack 2? And it's $7.50, so it's a little bit over 50% off. This is like, what, 20% off? So they put the game on sale. They released a hotfix that didn't have a patch. The movie came out, and people kind of liked it, and they can capitalize on the hype, and it is not economically feasible to release a brand new current-gen game, but it is economically feasible to release DLC for an old last-gen game. The numbers add up, and Samoa Joe, at sacrifice, you will get Kombat Pack 3, because I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. And it spells disaster for you if you don't want Kombat Pack 3 and more Mortal Kombat 11 content.